Ken Saro-Wiwa's family say it was his dying wish that the oil giant Shell should face justice for its actions. It was in 1995 that the Nigerian regime of the time executed the environmentalist and poet along with his fellow activists. In doing so, it created an icon, a martyr in the struggle between the poor of the Niger Delta and the rich multinational oil industry. Royal Dutch Shell, as it is now, had stood accused of colluding with the Nigerian regime to silence protesters in Ogoniland with force, and also helping in the capture of Saro-Wiwa. The company's executive director of exploration and production, Malcolm Brinded, said in a statement that it was making a humanitarian gesture, not admitting liability.
Shell has always maintained the allegations were false. While we were prepared to go to court to clear our name, we believe the right way forward is to focus on the future for Ogoni people, which is important for peace and stability in the region.
But those in the 13-year legal campaign against Shell maintain the settlement is a victory.
Each legal victory makes it more and more likely that these kinds of suits will continue and that multinationals, not just oil companies, will come to understand that they have obligations as citizens of the world.
Ken Saro-Wiwa Jr., who has played a lead role in the 13-year legal fight after his father's death, had always maintained that there had to be accountability.
It will provide some kind of psychological relief and release to have those who they feel were responsible for the violations of their human rights being held accountable or being made to account for their roles in those human rights violations.
Ogoniland, with its 1,000 square kilometres of land crisscrossed by pipelines and at one time hideously polluted by oil pipeline leaks and fires, had been a battleground between the deprived and the rich. The settlement won't bridge that gap, and it's unlikely to have any effect on the separate militant campaign of the Movement for the Emancipation of the Niger Delta, MEND, with their attacks on the Nigerian military and kidnapping of oil workers. Royal Dutch Shell maintains its stance of denying allegations made against it, while at the same time paying out. And while $15.5 million is less than 1/100% of Shell's annual revenue, it will, however, fund social programs in Ogoniland and pay off the colossal legal bill for this action. Andrew Simmons, Al Jazeera.